Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini from GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast, and as promised, this week is all about Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. I obviously got the game early so that I could post my review on the site before the game was released, and it was funny because, as you know, I do my Animal Crossing diaries every week, and those started because when Animal Crossing City Folk came out, I was sent a review copy of the game, and I realized you can't review an Animal Crossing game after just playing it for a week or two. That's not enough. You know, it's meant to be played a little bit every day, and over time you see everything and do everything, and even then you haven't done everything, but you know what I mean. So I realized that having done my weekly diary for Wii Fit to chart my weight loss, I decided why not do the same thing with Animal Crossing. And I'll do a weekly diary of Animal Crossing, because now it allows you to do screenshots. I can illustrate and do a review from the point of view of like a diary of someone who's just moved into the town and is having an adventure and whatever. And it became one of the most popular things on GayGamer.net, much to my surprise. I was told this, and I did not believe this. But apparently, it's popular, and I've been doing them for years now. It's just been nonstop. But with Happy Home Designer, as soon as I started playing it, I realized this is not... I'm not going to just incorporate this into my Animal Crossing diary, or try to do a weekly diary of Happy Home Designer, because it's a completely different game. If you've read my review, you know this, but with Happy Home Designer, you go and you design a building, either something in town or for a character, and you design their home, and then you go back to the shop and you sign your logbook and save your game and end the day. You only design one thing a day. You can also go visiting people and doing that sort of nonsense, but you only do one project a day, and then the day is over, the day cycle passes, and you save your game, and you can either quit or continue and build another house. So it doesn't apply to a real-world calendar. There's no change of seasons. I mean, there is. You can change the season, and if somebody wants a haunted house, you can put them in fall. If someone likes wintry stuff, you put them in winter. So you can change, when you pick the location for their house, you can change the season then. But it's all just sort of, random and whatever. So you can play Happy Home Designer for a week or so and get enough of a feel for the game that you can review it. So this just got a regular review. Of course, as I continue playing it, I continue to discover new little quirky things about it. Mostly because when I went to review the game, I only had the one Amiibo card that came with my game, which was Harriet. And so I scanned her with my little Amiibo reader, which I need because I don't have the new 3DS that has the Amiibo reader technology already built into the touchscreen. But I scanned her card, and I built her a house and whatever. It was very pink. But then I also went to Lopez's house and had Harriet come over, because that's what you can do when you're in someone's house. You can scan their Amiibo card and they will pop in for a visit. Unfortunately, they pop in and they don't speak to you. Like, when you go to talk to them, they don't say anything, which is just sort of weird. They just sort of go, and that's it. And then they just sort of hang out there. And then I left, and then, like, a couple days later, I went back to visit Lopez again to see what he was up to, and Harriet was still there. So you kind of have to make them leave, or else they'll just stay there forever and never go home, which is weird. But I am discovering that there is a limitation. I mean, it does have the personality, as I said in my review, it has the personality of Animal Crossing without the, you know, requirements of maintaining the town and maintaining your relationship and playing every day. But it's sort of missing that personality because it doesn't feel as alive, you know? Like, people seem to only have the same few phrases, and they don't, like, approach you with new things to do and say and whatever. It's missing a little bit of the life that makes Animal Crossing almost feel like a real place. I mean, obviously it doesn't feel real, but it just felt a little more real than Happy Home Designer, which is more just a design game that has a lot of personality because it's Animal Crossing and these characters are freaking adorable and they say ridiculous, humorous things all the time, and that's fun. And this past Friday, when the game was released, they had a launch event at Nintendo World, and it's funny because I remember seeing the tweet saying you can start lining up at like 7 or 8 in the morning, and I'm like, really? Are people going to line up for an Animal Crossing game? I don't see that happening, really. Like, I get it, people line up around the block for Mario and Zelda and Pokemon, but I don't think Animal Crossing fans are, like, that dedicated. But I did, after work, swing by because from 6 to 8 they had a special card trading event, and they had a DJ playing music, and everyone was hanging out and buying Amiibo cards and trading them, and I did ask somebody there, I was mentioning how it seemed weird that they would line up for this, and I can't imagine Animal Crossing fans lining up for the game, and the kid said that he came with his parents at like 9:30 in the morning or whatever, like 9:30 in the morning, like right after they opened. He came in to get the game, and he said there was no line or anything, so I think that there was no line. But I did buy a bunch of Amiibo cards, as you can see. I was very excited that I bought 3 packs initially, and in my 3rd pack I did receive my Lopez card, because he is awesome, and I just wanted Lopez's card. Even though he was already in my town, I wanted his card. And then there were a few cards that I wanted to keep, and then there were a bunch that, like, I didn't necessarily have doubles that I wanted to trade. I just had villagers I didn't care about that I wanted to trade, and I found somebody who had Tiffany, who is, I mean, check that pose. Work, bitch. She's so fabulous. I love her. She is fantastic. But I would trade anything for Tiffany. And then people were running around trading, like, really crazily, and people were like, does anybody need this one? Does anybody have a so-and-so? You know, and, there were people who had binders and cases, and they were really serious, and there were a few people I saw finished their collection and got all 100 or something cards, and they were done. And they had all of them, you know, and they had traded their way into it. And I'm just like, bravo. There was also a table where a Nintendo World Store employee had a big binder full of cards, and you could actually stand in line and go up there, and you were allowed to make one trade for whatever you want that they might have in their binder. And they had most everybody, but you were only allowed to do that once. They also had there was like a little quiz where you could guess which furniture series each piece of furniture was part of, and you can also sketch your own design for KK's, you know, room where he can spin his tracks. And doing one of those would get you a raffle ticket where you could either win a plush or a t-shirt. And me and my friend hung out there for the full 2 hours because we were really hoping to win something. I really wanted the t-shirt because I already have all the plushies. And in the very last one at 8 o'clock, the very last number they called was my friend's. But they were out of t-shirts because he was going to give me the t-shirt. But they were out of t-shirts, so he had to get a plush. So he can keep the plush, because I already have the plush. I did get this nifty poster, free with purchase. That was cute. And at one point, he had a good point, because I was like, I don't feel like I want to collect all 100 of them, because I don't care. It's like the regular Amiibos. I just want the ones that are cute. So I would like some of the special ones, but then I'll want the villagers that I actually like. You know, like Tiffany and Lopez and Deli and whatever, but I'm not so concerned with getting the whole collection. But he had a point that he said, you should probably buy another pack of cards now, just because if you do get doubles or people you don't like, you can trade with people now. If you buy it at another time, you might not be able to trade with people, you know. This is a really convenient place to trade cards around. So I did go back and buy another card pack, and there was literally only the one pack sitting on the rack, and that was it. And I snatched it up, and I was like, I will buy this. Last one. It turned out not to be the last one. Like 20 minutes later, they were full again. It's also weird because it's in a cardboard pack that you then open up and then remove the little plastic foil pack that the cards are actually in. But they're just, I don't see myself collecting all 100 of them, simply for the fact that they're like, you get 6 cards for $6. It's $1 a card. That's going to be over $100 that you're going to spend. And more than that, because there's over 100 cards, and you're going to have to buy even more than that, because you're not going to never get a double. You know, it's going to take you even more to get one of everything. So you're going to spend like $100, $200 or something ridiculous. And I'm just like, no. I'm doing well with the regular Amiibos, not buying all of them, so I'm going to do the same thing with my Animal Crossing Amiibo cards, and I'm not going to try to buy them all. We'll see if I can stick to that. We'll see. But yeah, Happy Home Designer is delightful. It's cute and adorable, and it's also great because it is low maintenance. You can play it, design a couple of houses, put it down, and then not play it again for a few days. And then you can pick it up, design a couple of houses, and it's just a little cute burst of Animal Crossing fun. And I like that. So it's going to be a good game to have where, like, you know, when I just need to kill, like, 10 or 15 minutes and I've already visited my Animal Crossing town for the day and maintained it, I can pop into Happy Home Designer and check things out and maybe design someone a house. So, if you like Animal Crossing, definitely recommend Happy Home Designer. Unless, as one of my friends said, he never liked the collecting of furniture and designing of the houses. So, clearly this is not a game for him. I was like, yep, don't be playing Happy Home Designer, because that's basically all you're doing. So, if you didn't like designing, then don't buy this one. Maybe you can wait for the Amiibo Party game and just play the Mario Party game with the Animal Crossing Amiibos. And I've rambled on far too long, and I'm trying not to make this one really long. So I'm going to go now, and I will see you back here next week, where I might have some more stuff to talk about Happy Home Designer, because I might have discovered more playing it, and I'll talk about other things too. I promise. It won't all be Animal Crossing every week. This is not an Animal Crossing podcast. I will see you back here next week. Enjoy! Bye!